Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm really glad that you've joined us and you're so very welcome. Today I have this delicious recipe that I came across recently and just have a bowl of it here. And it's something new that I wanted to try out. Now, I suffer myself with digestive problems and bloating an awful lot. And this is a recipe that I've came across, quite simple to make, but lovely, really fresh, delicious ingredients. So if you like pineapple, you're in for a treat. But this particular recipe is loaded in nutrients and it's full of vitamins, iron, magnesium. But the most important thing is it's got an enzyme in it called, and I'm reading it here, I'm not sure if this is the correct pronunciation, but I think it's pronounced Bromelain. And it's the juice that's in the pineapple and it helps to metabolize protein. And because of this, it burns belly fat, which I really need, so it's definitely worth the try. Now I put together the ingredients and I'm going to make that for you. Now this is, if any of you have watched my recent Kaftan video, you'll know that I had another Kaftan that hadn't arrived. Well, it arrived this morning and this is it. And I'm going to show that to you as well in a moment. But first of all, I'm going to try some of this. It's delicious. It's really delicious. So if you'd like to know how I made this delicious recipe, please stay tuned. Today I'm doing this wonderful recipe that I've seen recently on social media, and it aids digestion. And if, like me, you suffer with any kind of discomfort in that region, I think you'll agree it's definitely worth the try. Now the ingredients do make sense because we've got pineapple here, we've got maple syrup, got ginger, fresh ginger, a fresh lime and some mint leaves. These mint leaves I have growing out in a pot in my garden because, I'll be honest, I love a nice mojito. So that's why I've got the mint. And we'll move on with the recipe. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my lovely pineapple. So I've just chopped up my pineapple into bite-sized chunks and just going to get the juice going a bit in this lovely lime, and I'm going to grate it all around just to get some of the rind for flavour. Now the quantities in these items are up to yourself, but as you can see they're all wonderfully nutritious, and I've started back trying to eat healthy this week because I was doing really well before I went on the cruise. And since I came back, I didn't really get back on track. I haven't been doing bad now, but I could do better if I'm honest. So I'm just going to cut the lime in half. Very sorry, it's off out of the camera's view. And I'm going to squeeze that. It's a lovely juicy lime. So I'm just going to take the juice out of that whole lime. It's also an ingredient I'd have in the house a lot. Like I said, well, I love a mojito, and I guess maybe I'm on the ball with the mojitos. Maybe they do help with my stomach after all. Now, I think that's about it. Just rinsing my hands there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. It's a wonderful natural sweetener, as you know, the maple syrup. So I'm going to have to bring back my chopping board here because I want to chop up some of this ginger. Now again, you can put in as much or as little of that as you like. Depends on whether you like the heat or not. And I may as well. Sorry about that. My doggies have seen something out the window. And I think Bronte thinks that it's his road that's out there. He doesn't like anybody else sharing it with us. So if he sees anyone pass at all in a car or a van, he barks. And we're out in the middle of the country. But I think he thinks that this is his road. And how dare anybody else venture onto it at all. He's a funny little dog. Now I'm going to chop. Probably not the best now with the nails, but I'm chopping that mint up as small as I can. And I hope you can see what I'm doing because I'm not looking at the camera. So my advice would be to chop it up as small as you possibly can. And then with the ginger, I'm going to come back in with my bowl. Move that out of the way. And I'm going to grate probably a teaspoon or so is enough. If you like the heat, I do, I love it. You can add a bit more. Look, add it to taste, I guess. But I haven't tried this recipe, but apparently the ginger is meant to be gorgeous with the pineapple. So, there we go. I'm going to come in next with the mint. And I'm just going to stir that up. Now, I may have gone a bit overboard with the mint, but personally I love mint. Next I'm going to come back in my pineapple and I'm going to add it to the bowl. And I apologise if I'm a bit messy with this. I haven't done this type of video before, and for me it's all a learning curve. As I've said to you before, each of those new things that I do are all new ventures, but I have to admit I'm having great fun doing it. Now the other thing about this, I looked it up, it is very low in calories, but obviously it's got sugar in it, natural sugars, which makes it, I suppose, high in carbohydrate. But apparently if you just eat the proper amount or the recommended daily amount of it each day, it's fine. I think it gives you about 6 grams of carbs for 1 cup. That's what the recommended daily amount is. It's 1 cup of pineapple. So that's it. So I put the pineapple into this plastic tub. It's an airtight container, and I'm going to pop the lid on, and according to Alexa this is going to last in the fridge for approximately 1 week. So you know, we'll go through this in a few days between myself and my husband. We both like pineapple, so it won't last a week in our house. And if you'd like to know of the nutrients and the health benefits of this particular recipe, I'll link them below in the description bar. You can have a look. So this is the latest kaftan that arrived this morning. And as you can see, it's very nice. It's very large actually, but it is very pretty. And it's got this elastication just underneath the bust area, if you can see, which gives it a lovely shape. Now it also came with this, I don't know, a belt I guess, but I've tried it a few different ways and I don't particularly like it on it. I don't know, maybe I could use it in my hair or something if I was wearing it. It might look quite nice. But I know you can't see the full length from here, but it's quite long and it is actually touching the floor. So I have altered some of the other ones. I have done 2 and I have 2 left to do, so I'll also have to do this. But as I said in my last video, because they're straight across the bottom, they're quite easy to turn up, to be honest with you. It doesn't take very much. I have a little sewing machine, so I can run it up quite easily. I'll turn around. So the back is just plain, but you've got this bit of detail gone on here. And I think the colours are lovely. They're very different from the other ones. I think you'll agree that was quite easy, and I hope you'll give it a go. If you've enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in.